How's everybody doing? It's Matt with the Investments Group, and we're back with another video about how to set up your Thinkorswim platform into a way where you can see your big chart, like a yearly chart and a daily chart at the same time with your indicators and watch lists all together. So we're going to go over that today. This is the third time I've had to do this video because of user error with the recording thing, so we're going to get it right this time. So let's get right into it. No time to delay that. This is what it's going to look like when you open your platform, Thinkorswim. This is just, I'm in the simulated trading here, so I'm not down $3,000. That wouldn't look good. So this is what's going to look like when you come in. This screen is pretty much useless. I don't use it. You want to come over and go to your charts tab up here at the top. That's going to bring you to here. This is where you're going to enter your symbols to look up what you want to trade. So let's just put in a symbol here. I'll put in Amazon, okay? So this is what it's going to look like. Basic setup straight out of the box, okay? Default settings. For one thing, it looks awful. It's hard to see what you're doing. So we're going to set it up first by moving the chart over so you have some room to see. Setting up indicators on your chart and below. And then watch lists over here as well, and how to link them so that when you click on them, they pop up in the tab, in the charts tab. So first thing we're going to do is come up here and go on the cogwheel right here. Chart settings, I'm going to change some things. And I'm going to come over here, I'm going to go to time axis. I'm going to go to the expansion area. That's the first thing I like to do. And I like to put about 80 bars to the right. What that's going to do is it's going to move the chart over so it's not right up against the, right here. It's not right up against this. It's going to be like back around there where it's going to start, which is nice, so you have some room to look at stuff. That's the first thing I'll do. So if we hit apply there, we can see it already moved it over. So that's what I do. Now you got some room to operate, okay? And this is set up now. I can come over to the D here, which is time frame setup. I'm going to go to that. I'm going to change it to the 4-hour, 180-day, 4-hour candles. So now I have a little bit more information. I can zoom in by just clicking and holding and then dragging and then just letting go. There you can zoom in. If you want to zoom out, you hold down Control, scroll out, and you can scroll in too if you want. It's a quick way to zoom in and out. So if I want to check out this little push here, I can, and I just hold Control and scroll out, and then we're back to the thing. If you want to make drawings on the chart, it's very simple. You can come down here to let's see, where is it? It's not on here. What I like to do is, all you have to do is I click the scroll wheel, or you can it's this, if you have a scroll wheel, you click it down and it'll pop up with this kind of these buttons here that you can change your cursor to. So I like to keep it on which one is it? Trend line. That's what I keep it to. So if I click now and I let go, and then I can make a line wherever I want. So if I want to see, you know, the percentage here, I can click and then, oh, hold on. I let it go, and I can see it's 17% from that bottom candle up to the top here, you know, 18% there. And it tells you how many days it was, what the hours are. So this is some good useful information just for looking at things. So that's one I like to use, and it also is like a XY chart. So if I put my cursor here on the very right over here, I can see that I'm at $2,100 there, all the way over to the right over here when I move it up. And you can also see the time frame down here as well. So that's a useful one to have. You can also change it to a price level. So if I want to mark a price level here, I can mark this level here, I can mark that level up there, and then it goes all the way over infinity, as much as you want. And you can get rid of these by, if you make one on accident, you can hit Control Z to undo, or if you just want to right click on it, you can go remove drawing. So I can just remove those real quick. And there's a lot of other ones in there too. There's where is it? Here it is. There's time. This is a time one. So this goes vertical, so you can put time markings in when, you know, if you have something that's going to expire, like an option, you would know, you know, that it's coming up on this day I have, you know, that many days, and I can click and drag it over and see that that's 10 days away from that last candle with this line here. So that's going to be some useful things to use. Now, the second thing I like to do is set up my indicators. Indicators are used to help judge trades. So if I come up here to studies, I click on studies and I go to edit studies. I'm going to put in the studies that I use that are pretty basic ones that a lot of people like to use. You don't want to go too crazy with the studies, because then you just have too much crap on the screen. You can't see what you're doing. So I like to put in RSI, which is a relative strength index, which is for measuring the strength, you know, of the buying and the selling that's happening. So you just type in RSI, click on it, hit add selected. It'll move it over. Now it's in its own box here, so this is going to be by itself. If I wanted to overlay it on the chart here, I can move it up to the price. And if I hit apply, you can see it's going to put it on the chart. But that does not look good. Now it's like, I don't know what's going on there. It's lines going all over the place. So I like to put RSI in its own box, which is a lower box, and that's going to put it down here in its own box, which is much better, and I can see it a lot better than on the chart, the actual chart. Now you can go in here and change the settings if you want, but I leave it to what it is, because everybody else who's using this indicator pretty much leaves it the same. So you want to see what everybody else is seeing with their indicators. You don't want to be changing yours, because that would make you either, you know, you could slip or slide one way or the other. But I leave it the way it is. But you can come in here and change the colors of the oversold and undersold if you want. And another one I like to add is the MACD indicator. And I put that one on its own level as well. And you can hit apply, and you can see it's going to pop up down here in its own one. And you can come in here and move these around if you want. I mean, if I want to make this bigger or smaller, or I can get them out of the way here, like so. So you can adjust things pretty easily. I'm going to go back into the studies, and I'm going to add a couple to my chart now. I'm going to add the simple moving average, which is a great one to have. I'm going to put that in the price there. And I'm going to add the exponential moving average exponential as well. I'm going to put that in the price. Now when I hit apply, you can see it put on a couple lines here. It put on a blue line, and the other one, hold on, did not come in quite right. Well, we'll just leave it for that right now. I forget exactly what it's called, but yeah, it's okay. So that's how you would put your indicators on the way you want it, and you can change the colors and whatever you want. Now that I got that set up, I'm going to move this a little smaller. I don't need the volume. Move these down. Now I want to see, you know, a couple charts at once, so I can have some options. I don't want to have to go up here and change the time frame all the time to the 1 minute chart, and then the 180-day chart, and the 5-week chart. You know, I want to be able to see both at the same time, which comes in handy a lot. So I can come up here to this little box, click on that box, and make it 2 boxes. Okay, 2 boxes is better than 1. Now what I can do is type in my ticker again. Now I have the I can come in here and click on the 1 minute, 1 day candle. So now I'm seeing the 1 minute candles on the same chart. And you will have to come in here and go to the chart settings again, and go to the time axis and put 80 bars to the right again. Hit apply. You can do more if you want. You can do like if you really want it, you know, 150 or something, and then move that over so you have it like that. And then you're gonna have to come into the studies again and edit the studies and just add those really quick. Which, if I come in and add the RSI, I add that one, I add the MACD, and I add the simple moving average. Hit apply, and then boom, I have it right there. I can move them down and now they are there. So now I can have my big chart and my small chart at the same time, which is very handy. And I have both the RSI on both. You don't have to have it on both, but if you want to, you can. So that's basically the chart setup I like to have. And a simple way to, you can expand these as well just by clicking on the dead space here. There's like a, at the top of this blue bar, just double tap, double click, and it's going to expand. And then double click again, you can compress it. Same thing with this one over here, just double click. Now I can see a bigger one. I can zoom in if I want, and then once I'm done, I can just collapse it. So then, so real easy to do that. And you can add more than 2 if you want. You know, you can go up to, what is this, 4 by 6 or 7 here. That would be a little crazy, but 2 is what I use. It works fine. So now that you got that set up, you got to put some, tickers in here in your watch list, or else you're just watching nothing. So I'm just going to go ahead and you should have some default watch lists set up here, but if not, you come down here and click up the plus on Add Gadget, and you're going to add a watch list. Now there's a lot of cool things in here. You can go around and look. They got the calculator. They got Minesweeper in here too. Minesweeper, if you get bored, you're having a really bad day, you got to release some stress. Oh, you're done. But we're going to come in here and hit watch list. And then, once I get rid of this Minesweeper, you can come in here and basically create your own watch list here. You hit create watch list, and then you can name it whatever you want. Name it bad day, and then just hit save here, and then that's named bad day. Okay, so I come in here and I can start putting in the symbols I want. Let's put Amazon, Facebook, Ford, put Baba in there, and what is Apple. Okay, so I got a couple in there, and you can move these around as well if you want by moving them. Just collapse these. You can delete some of these because you don't need them. On the quick chart, you can get rid of this. So now that I have things kind of set up better, I can enable this symbol link. Okay, I'm gonna put it on red. I'm gonna put it on yellow because it's easier to see. If I put it on 2 here, this is the number 2. Okay, I come up here to my chart. I change that to number 2 by the link. I can change both of them to number 2. Okay. Now, whatever I click over here, it's gonna automatically populate my chart over here. So if I want Facebook here, I click on it, and then boom, pops right up. If I want Facebook or Ford, boom, it pops right up. So I can see the yearly chart and the daily chart at the same time really quickly. And you can use your arrow keys here too, just to go up and down and quickly go through your watch lists for the day or for the week or whatever you need to do. Now you can customize this watch list too to what you want. There's bid, there's ask, there's net change here. You can come in and click the little cog wheel and hit customize, and you can put in, I like to put in percent change. There's a lot of things in here you can put. You can go crazy again. There's way too much stuff really, but you can put in the volume here. I like to put in the volume. Can't spell either. Oh my gosh. Volume. You hit OK. It's going to populate your chart again, and you can move these around to make them bigger or smaller as you need. And now I have my percentage. You can also move them too just by clicking and dragging. I have my percent change here, which is a very that's the one you should always have, so you can see each day's percentage gain or loss. And I have the volume on here too, which is handy to have just right there, so I can take a look quickly. So that is the basic setup of how I like to set up my charts when I'm in Thinkorswim. And you can make multiple watch lists and all that. Just make sure you save your you got to come up here and hit setup, and then you got to hit save workspace as when you're done, or else when you exit, it's just all going to go away when you come back, and you're going to have to set it up all again, which wouldn't be nice. So you got to save your workspace, make sure you name it something, and then when you exit, it usually asks you, do you want to save on this this workspace, and you hit yes, and then exits. So that's basically it. I don't want to make the videos too long, but if you guys have any questions about anything about the platform, let me know, and I'll try to answer them. Talk to you guys later. We'll see you next time.